Hey everyone, today I have a bit of Quake history to share with you, and it's pretty cool. But before I get too ahead of myself, I want to tell you that I'm going to do this video in two parts. The first 5 minutes or so of this video will be with my commentary, and the last 5 minutes or so of this video will be exactly the same footage as the first 5 minutes, but it will not have my commentary. So use the chapter selection in the video description below accordingly. Also, you guys are going to want to stay till the end of this video, because there's actually a really cool and interesting boss fight that I really want to make sure you guys don't miss. Alright, so what are we looking at here today? When I was doing some research for a Quake fact video that I'll link in the video description below, I came across this mod or map called Temple of the Mist. What is really interesting and historical about this project is it wasn't created by some random community member or just random modder. No, this project was actually commissioned by Sony Pictures. Yeah, you know Sony. They own PlayStation and are a giant mega entertainment conglomerate. So yeah, back in 1997, Sony Pictures was distributing a movie called Anaconda. The horror movie follows a film crew who is doing a documentary on some indigenous peoples. But instead they get attacked by a giant man-eating anaconda. The movie was a huge box office success, making over $136 million, and it featured some actors that you probably know. Ice Cube, Jennifer Lopez, Jon Voight, and Owen Wilson, to name a few. And as you can see from the gameplay, not only is this a new Quake map, but it also featured a brand new enemy. They're a snake or anaconda men in the water, and they have a super nail gun on each hand. Now, spoiler alert, these creatures do not appear in the film, but I can't help but think how cool that is that a production company would go to so much effort to promote their movie. In fact, the way that people found this map in order to play it was that they would go to the Anaconda website back in 1997, and this map was available there as a downloadable link. It's pretty cool to think about how popular Quake was back in that day, that a major movie studio would be using the game to promote their movie. Now, I know that we have a lot of cross-pollination between video games and movies today, but back in the 90s, I'm not quite so sure if that was as common of a practice. Now, I have not done any research on this topic about movies being promoted through video games, so I'm not going to make the bold statement of saying that Quake could have been the very first video game ever used to promote a movie. However, if any of you know of a similar situation, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be actually really interested in hearing if promoting a movie through a video game had happened before Quake. Now, I don't want to be too critical of this map, because at the end of the day, it was just a promotional tool for the movie, and it's obviously was just made for a lot of fun. I will say, though, that they called it Temple of the Mist, and to me, it didn't really feel like a temple. It just felt like a really big water-filled cave. While that's not really a bad thing, I think the map would have been a lot more interesting if they would embrace the temple and made it more of an interior temple-like area rather than a big cave-like network. And now that my imagination is going, how cool would that have been if they converted all of the enemies into something unique rather than using Quake enemies? I have no idea what the technical limitations back in 1997 was to do this, but considering the credits at the end of this video have both a programmer and a modeler credited, I imagine it wasn't exactly an easy feat. That said, I think it would have been a lot cooler and a lot more immersive for the movie fans to fight a lot of different snake-like enemies rather than the ogres and the scrags and the rotfish from Quake. Or what if they did something like an outside area at the start of the map where you're kind of hacking your way through some jungle and some enemies out there, and then you enter the temple, and that's where you fight the nail gun anaconda dudes, and then you work your way through the temple to eventually come to the final boss. Again, I'm just spitballing. I have no idea what the limitations were technically, what the budget was, or the time constraint these guys were under to get this map out. Even when doing my research about this map, I barely could find any information about it in any source of media other than some obscure download link. Honestly, I don't think that this Quake map really was the success that Sony was probably hoping it would be, but this is just my own personal pure speculation. I have actually zero idea if this map was successful for promoting the movie or not. So I have the rocket launcher, a quad damage, and red armor here, and I'm about to go face the final boss. From a gameplay perspective, I am way too strong for the next fight, as you're about to see. So there you have it, the final boss was the giant anaconda. Despite having a couple of funky hitboxes, it still went down super easy with the quad damage and the rocket launcher. So I'm going to show you the end credits now just so you can kind of see all the work that went into this and the names involved. But I'm also going to go fight the anaconda one more time without the quad damage on. That way you can see the fight a little bit better, maybe even see some of its attacks, which are honestly kind of cool. And it showcases just how much work these guys actually put into this map. So I recommend if you go play this, don't take the quad damage. Yeah, speaking about playing this, if you want to try it out, I'm going to include a link to the download in the video description below. If you're playing remastered Quake, just create a folder in your re-release folder called Anaconda, put all the files in there, and then when you launch Quake, pull the console down and type game space Anaconda. Then when you create a new game, it should just automatically launch the map. Don't forget, I'm going to showcase the boss one more time so you can kind of see what the fight would be like without killing it instantly with quad damage. And then don't forget, I'm also going to showcase the entire playthrough one more time without any commentary. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to check out my videos. If you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit of Quake history, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any ideas for videos like this that showcase mods or maps that are a little bit more obscure, please let me know in the comments below, as I'm very interested in this type of content. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying. I'm SaltyOctopus, and I will see you in the next video.